If you're a woman over 40, waking up between 2 and 4 in the morning, heart racing, mind already spinning before your feet touch the floor, what I'm about to share with you is not something your doctor is likely to mention, because this isn't a sleep problem at all. And once you understand what's actually happening inside your body, you can do something about it. A few short years ago, that was my life. I'd wake up in the dead of night, brain wide awake, my body completely exhausted, and there was no drifting back to sleep. I'd just lie there in the dark, mentally scrolling through everything I had to do the next day while the clock crawled towards dawn. And it wasn't just my sleep. By mid-afternoon, my mind was foggy. I'd walk into a room and genuinely forget why I was there. I had stubborn belly fat that refused to shift no matter what I tried. My skin looked dull, my joints felt stiff, and I just didn't bounce back the way I used to. Now, as a healthcare professional with more than 15 years of clinical experience, it absolutely crushed me to hear other professionals say the same thing. Nin, it's just aging. This is what happens to women after 40. Well, I knew deep in my bones this wasn't my final chapter. I had to dig deeper. I had to absolutely figure out what was happening, not at the surface level of symptoms, but at the cellular level where the real answers live. Because it's just aging is not a diagnosis, it's a dismissal. And when I did go deeper, I found something that very few people are talking about, something conventional medicine barely acknowledges. I call it the cortisol bribe. Now, I want you to picture this like a detective story, because that's exactly what it is. And the first thing you need to understand is how cortisol is meant to behave in a healthy body. Cortisol is your main stress hormone, and it follows a beautiful daily rhythm. It rises naturally in the early morning to wake you up. That's a good thing. Then it gradually drops across the day so that by nighttime, it's low and calm and you can drift off to sleep. That's the design. That's how your body is supposed to work. But here's where the crime scene happens. And this is what nobody explained to me for years. Sometime in the middle of the night, while you're sound asleep, your blood sugar takes a subtle dip. You don't feel it consciously, but your brain absolutely detects it, and your brain treats low blood sugar like an emergency. So it fires off an urgent distress signal straight to your adrenal glands. Release cortisol right now. We need to get blood sugar back up fast. That cortisol surge hits your bloodstream like an alarm bell, and it jolts you awake, usually around 3 a.m. Your heart's pounding, your brain is racing, but your body is still utterly depleted. You're caught in this awful state of being wired and exhausted at the exact same time. So no, this isn't insomnia. It's not menopause waking you up. It's a blood sugar crash triggering a cortisol emergency response. The sleep disruption is just the evidence. The actual crime scene is metabolic. And here's what makes it even more alarming. The cortisol doesn't just wake you up and then politely leave. It stays elevated while you lie there in the dark, quietly breaking down muscle tissue, signaling your body to store fat around your belly, and keeping your brain in a state of low-grade inflammation. So you're not just losing sleep, your body is being slowly torn down night after night while you lie there totally unaware. Do this with me right now. Think about the last 7 nights. How many times did you wake up between 2 and 4 in the morning, your heart already pounding, your mind already spinning before your feet even touched the floor? If it happened even once, write wide in the comments below. That's your evidence. That's the cortisol bribe. And now you know exactly what you're dealing with. Okay, so let's investigate what's actually happening inside your body while you lie there at 3 in the morning. First, let's be clear, cortisol isn't the enemy. At the right time, in the right amount, it's essential for life. The problem is the timing. When cortisol spikes at 3 in the morning instead of 6 in the morning, your entire circadian rhythm, your body's internal 24-hour clock, gets scrambled. That spike wrecks your deep sleep, leaving you exhausted and foggy all day, then primes your body for another surge the following night. But the damage doesn't stop while you sleep. Cortisol has a second job you need to understand. It blocks insulin. Insulin is the hormone that delivers glucose, your body's fuel, into your cells so they can use it for energy. When cortisol blocks insulin, your fuel stays trapped in your bloodstream while your cells are literally starving for energy. And your body does the only thing it can with that trapped fuel. It stores it as fat, specifically around your midsection. This is exactly why you can eat the exact same way you did at 30 and suddenly gain weight at 45. It's not willpower, it's not aging, it's cortisol blocking insulin night after night. Now I want to show you 2 signs your body is already giving you Evidence you can check right now. Reach back and squeeze the muscles where your neck meets your shoulders. That's your trapezius muscle. It runs from the base of your skull down across your shoulders and into your mid-back. If that feels like granite, tight, knotted, painful to touch, that's cortisol. Chronic high cortisol tenses those muscles 24 hours a day. It's not a posture thing. It's not something your physiotherapist or chiropractor can resolve. It's biochemistry. Okay, now look down at your fingernails. Do you see horizontal ridges running across them like grooves in a vinyl record, if anyone remembers those? Oh, those are called Bose lines. They form when your body diverts resources away from non-essential processes like nail growth and redirects them towards survival. Chronic high cortisol triggers exactly that kind of resource rationing. Your body has been keeping a tally, and your fingernails and your back are the evidence. Now, here's why this really matters. Pinch the skin on the back of your hand. Imagine that same tension, that same constant cortisol-driven inflammation happening deep inside your brain, around your hippocampus, that part that forms and stores memories. That's what's happening at 3 in the morning while you lie there awake. Now write evidence in the comments if you're ready to solve this. Not just mask it, but actually reverse the damage. These are not random symptoms, they're evidence. And evidence points to a cause. So next you walk into a doctor's office and maybe you say, I can't sleep. I wake up at 3 in the morning and I can't get back down. The visit usually lasts about 8 minutes, and in most cases, the prescription pad comes out, a sedative, a benzodiazepine, or what's called a Z drug these days. These drugs were designed to do one thing: sedate your brain so you lose consciousness. They simply work by enhancing neurotransmitter called GABA. That's a chemical messenger that slows down brain activity. More GABA activity means a quieter brain. A quieter brain means you lose consciousness faster. Here's where they fail. These drugs don't reduce cortisol. They don't stabilize blood sugar. They don't touch the mechanism that woke you up in the first place. All they do is sedate your brain while your cortisol stays sky high, while your blood sugar keeps crashing, while your cells keep getting damaged. You just don't wake up to feel it, that's all. It's like your car's check engine light comes on, and instead of fixing the engine, you put a piece of tape over the dashboard light and keep driving. Now, here's where this matters to you. You walk in, you say those exact words, I can't sleep. What can your doctor actually give you? The answer is a sedative, a pill that turns off consciousness. That's the tool the system has, and it's nothing that touches this mechanism at the cellular level. Look, sleeping pills have a place in acute crisis, short-term, under strict supervision, a brief window of, say, a few days to get you through. But for a woman who's been waking at 3 for 2 years, that's not healthcare, that's a revolving door. As a healthcare professional with more than 15 years of clinical experience, I refuse to accept that. So I dug deeper, because chronic nighttime cortisol isn't a sleep disorder, it's a cellular injury. And like most injuries, it can heal. And that's exactly why I created my 90-day cellular repair guide. Now, that's the guide that exists because I refuse to accept what the system offers women like us. The fix comes down to 3 tools. Each one targets a different layer of the mechanism that we've just uncovered. Just a quick note first, before I give you those 3 tools. As a clinical naturopath with 15 years in practice, I prescribe only standardized medicinal extracts, the active compounds that are concentrated and dosed at therapeutic levels proven in human research. That's a world of difference from what you'd grab off a supermarket or pharmacy shelf. I'll also mention here that everything I use across all 3 tools is in my 90-day cellular repair guide. You can turn to page 13 and click the cellular repair support link to find the exact formulas that I use. Okay, so tool number 1. This is where most people never arrive, and it's the most important, because here's what nobody tells you about cortisol. It doesn't just wake you up. Cortisol damages. It breaks down muscle tissue, it thins your bones, it impairs your immune system. That's your body's defense network against illness. It shrinks the hippocampus, the part of your brain that forms memories. After months or years of high nighttime cortisol, you're not just tired, you're damaged. Lowering cortisol is only half the battle. You also need to repair what cortisol broke. Your cells are the fabric that make up your entire body, foundation of who you are. Every tissue, every organ, every system, it all comes back to your cells. So repairing your cells is the foundational medicine. It addresses the root cause that no other remedy touches. And the good news, your body already has its own repair crew. They're called adult stem cells. Think of them as your internal maintenance team. They travel through your body to find worn out or damaged tissue and trigger repair. The problem, well, that repair crew gets smaller every year. By 50, more than half are gone. That's not a calendar problem, it's a repair crew problem. So here's what I use as tool number one. A concentrated blend of 3 natural algae compounds clinically shown to work in synergy, meaning together they do more than what each of them could do alone. The first of these 3 compounds is a blue-green microalgae harvested from a single lake in Oregon in the US. It's called AFA for short. Research shows it supports the release of your own stem cells from your bone marrow into your bloodstream. It's like opening the gate for your repair crew. Second compound is extracted from a specific seaweed called fucoidan. It increases the number of stem cells circulating in your blood. The third is a specialized spirulina extract called mesenchyme. It supports 3 steps: release, travel, and arrival of those stem cells so they actually reach the tissue that needs them. These 3 work in synergy. Nothing synthetic, nothing foreign. You're simply topping up the repair crew which your body already knows how to use. Then comes the delivery system. Releasing more stem cells means nothing if you can't reach your target. So I support circulation with 3 things. First, enzymes, natural proteins that act like scissors, clearing away the sticky fibrin mesh that builds up in your bloodstream over time and slows everything down. Second, I use 2 standardized plant extracts, gotocola and ginkgo biloba. They strengthen and support the walls of your smallest blood vessels. Third is a trio of antioxidants that protect your blood cells from oxidative stress, which is basically like rust at the level of your cells. These are astaxanthin, a deep red compound from microalgae, sea buckthorn berry, and hydroxytyrosol, which is extracted from olives. This is the delivery formula. So the release formula brings in more repair crew, and the delivery formula clears the road so the crew gets to where they need to go. Using this tool, the women I work with track improvements across multiple systems: energy on waking, sleep quality, afternoon brain clarity, recovery after activity, mood steadiness, even skin quality. Why? Because when you support the repair system, you don't just fix one symptom, you change the entire terrain. Tool number 2. Cortisol doesn't just damage cells, it floods the tissue with inflammation by switching on 2 specific enzymes. Think of enzymes as biological switches, and cortisol has flipped both of these on. The first is called COX-2. The second is called 5-LOX. When both are active, your tissue is under constant inflammatory fire, and no repair crew can reach and work through that type of fire. To calm this terrain, I use a concentrated spirulina extract, but this time I'm after one specific compound inside it. It's the blue pigment called phycocyanin. It's been extracted using only water, no chemical solvents. It selectively blocks COX-2. Then a second fraction from the same spirulina, a different part of the plant, blocks 5-LOX. Together, they calm inflammation through both pathways at once, and that's been backed by 4 human clinical trials. Significant changes noted within 3 weeks. A calmer terrain means your repair crew can find the damage and do the work. So tool 1 was about releasing more repair crew. Tool 2 about reducing inflammation. And now we get to tool 3, turning off the tap. None of this heals if the cortisol signal keeps firing every night. We need to turn it down at the source. The most studied natural compound for this is called ashwagandha. It's a root extract that's been standardized to its active compounds called withanolides. In a 2019 randomized control trial, which is the gold standard of human research, found that 240 milligrams daily dropped cortisol by nearly 28% in 60 days. Not a supermarket powder, a standardized extract where the active compounds are guaranteed at a specific concentration. And last but not least, one free intervention that you can start tonight. A small serve of protein before bed, an egg, some bone broth. Protein slows the overnight blood sugar drop, so your body never triggers the cortisol surge in the first place. Simple, free, start tonight. You've heard it's just insomnia. None of it touches the cause. This is your way out. It's natural, it's science-backed, used by me and by my clients worldwide. We're not chasing symptoms here, we're repairing the terrain. Okay, I've walked through this myself. Broken sleep, 3 a.m. waking with my brain wide awake, fully switched on, like it was about to start the day. I just knew this was not my final chapter. I dug deeper and to absolutely figure it out. What I discovered became my 90-day cellular repair guide. It's the exact protocol I used to sleep through the night again and wake up clear. Inside the guide, you'll find the reset scorecard, 10 indicators that tell you precisely where to start based on your actual symptoms. No guessing, no try everything, a clear path to repairing your cellular foundation. And that's also where you'll find all the formulas. Just turn to page 13 and click the Cellular Repair Support link. Women just like you and me, women who were told their labs were normal while their bodies were screaming for help, are using this guide right now. So download it free at the link in the description. And next Sunday, same criminal, different crime scene. It's the evidence sitting around your waistline right now. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you there.